Hey, I'm Anthony. I think my YouTube channel is still called Spazzy the Geek. Um, I'm a university student going into second year, and I kind of realized that I hadn't read a real book in quite a long time, an embarrassingly long amount of time for a university student. So I figured I would try and make it a goal for the next little while to read a book a week as best I can. I want to kind of make a little review of each of these books as kind of a, you know, visual documentation of me having read them. So yeah, I don't know how this will go. Hopefully I won't follow the first hurdle and quit at my second book, because I already did read a book for this little video. But yeah, I don't know how it's gonna work out. I don't know if I'll find a good format for it. As you can see, I'm just kind of in my room. I have probably the worst lighting you'll ever find. If I get any comments, I know the first one's probably going to be that the video is in like portrait mode instead of landscape, but I don't care too much about the visuals. I just care kind of about the books, or at least I should. If you have any feedback, if this gets any views, feel free to tell me how I could improve your viewing experience. But anyway, so the first book I read was an easy book. I figured rather than hop right into, Immanuel Kant's, argument against pure reason, or whatever the fuck that book is called, I'd start with something super simple. It's the book version of Cyanide and Happiness. It was written by a guy named Chris Wilson, Rob Denbleicher, Matt Melvin, and Dave McElfretrick. I think that's how all those names are pronounced. It's about 130 pages long. It's really just a visual picture-by-picture version of I think it's an online comic series. I've seen a couple of their videos, and they're really good. That kind of segues into the fact that I didn't really enjoy this one that much. The individual picture panels, like comic style, doesn't really lend itself to the Cyanide and Happiness style. I know that they have or I'm pretty sure I should say, they have the online comic, and I've never really seen too many of them, but I have seen the videos. They're definitely a lot better. A lot of the, jokes, a lot of the skits, whatever you want to call these, a lot of the little comics, a lot of them fall flat. There's a couple that are definite gems, but overall, most of them are kind of dull. I'd say maybe 1 in 10 are sort of worth their weight. For example, on page 65, there's this 6-panel skit. It's one where the first one's like, "What happened to your limbs? I lost them during the war." The second one's is, "I don't need them." And then there's like a free space panel. And then on the next line here, it's kind of him turning into I think it's called a cocoon. It's been so long. Yeah, a cocoon. And he kind of like, in the last panel, he hatches out and becomes a butterfly or a human fly, whatever the hell you want to call it. That one kind of fell flat. It's 130 different comics, so you can only expect so much. Especially, the book was about $10. It was originally $16 at a premium price, or at its original price, but it got on sale down to $10. $10 would definitely be the most I would pay for something like this. Honestly, if it wasn't in my mom's shelf, I wouldn't have read it ever. So free is definitely an even better price. No knocks against the people who make Cyanide and Happiness, though I know I definitely think that the web-based version of this lends itself better to, you know, the style that they're going for. Um, but yeah, overall, I'd give it maybe a 6 out of 10. Maybe a 5 out of 10 if I'm being a little bit cynical. Um, Definitely not the greatest book in the world. I mean, it's a comic book, so it's not meant to be like a sit down and read book. Um, Took me about an hour to go through all the pages and kind of read through all the comics, so take that for what it's worth. If you really sit down and want to go through it, you could probably do it in like 30 minutes. They're not really all that difficult to understand, most of these comics, that is. So if you're at, you know, your friend's house or at a doctor's appointment and you need to kill 5 minutes, feel free to flip around this book if you ever happen to see it. But I wouldn't necessarily recommend going out and buying it on your own. So yeah, that's really all I gotta say on this book, Cyanide and Happiness. Good 5, 6 out of 10. Maybe if you want to get into decimals, 5.5. It definitely doesn't deserve anything higher, but it wasn't so bad that I regret having flipped through it. But yeah, anyway, hopefully I'll read a real book this week, and put out a better video in 6 or 7 days. If I don't, well, I might remove this video, but anyway, thank you for watching and have a great day.